what is up everybody, it's B. Milton. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host here on the Redskins Review. Today is the day after the Redskins-Bills preseason game. First thing, before we get into that game, we got to talk about the big news. Tony Romo has a broken bone in his back. Who knows how long he's going to be out this season, or if he'll even come back this season, because his injuries have just been amounting over the years. Apparently, the Cowboys have the best offensive line in football, yet Tony Romo is always being hurt somehow. And Tony Romo is a smart quarterback. We praise him sometimes because of how good he is when he's healthy, but how can he not stay healthy if they are behind the best offensive line in football? So it's looking pretty good for the Redskins right now. I'm not saying that I'm wishing Tony Romo gets hurt or whatever, but just like on ESPN, they say all the time, the Cowboys are an accident waiting to happen, and it's already happening in preseason. Tony Romo is going to be out for a while. We all knew this was coming. It was just a matter of when, not if. And then, you know, it looks good for us, man, because now you are sitting here looking at the Cowboys, who were argued to be the favorite in our division, even though the Redskins won last year. Now they don't have Tony Romo, and they're going to have a starting quarterback. Even though Dak Prescott's looked good in preseason, they have a starting rookie quarterback and a starting rookie running back. It does not look good for the Cowboys right now. If you know anything goddamn about football, we could be sleeping on Dak Prescott, but I just don't see him getting better over a 16-game period while other defenses are going to be doing things to rookies like just overloading blitzes and stuff on them. Rookies have it's hard to find a good quarterback in this league. That's why we're blessed to have Kirk Cousins. You know, we're blessed to have Colt McCoy. It's not looking good for the Cowboys. I don't think Dak Prescott, who's to say he's not going to be good down the road, but right now I don't think the Cowboys are winning more games than the Redskins this season with the schedule that we have and with a rookie running back and quarterback. I don't see that happening. Also, their defense is not the best in the league, so they're going to have to run the ball all the time and take pressure off of their rookie quarterback. They're going to look like they did last year. They might win more games than going 4-12 like they did last year with Dak Prescott, because he's probably better than the backup quarterbacks that they had, but I still don't see them being anywhere near winning the NFC East with Dak Prescott. So who knows? Could be wrong. We'll see. But I like our chances. So in other news, could you guys tell me how many receiving yards that Sammy Watkins had in the game? Because it's 0. Sammy Watkins got shut down by Bashaud Breeland yet again. Bashaud Breeland's about to be a household name in the NFL coming up this year, because everyone's going to be talking about Josh Norman, and then they're going to start realizing and seeing more tape and film of this kid Bashaud Breeland shutting all these people down. Sammy Watkins, he's a good wide receiver. He's a big body wide receiver, and here comes Bashaud Breeland, who's like maybe 6 feet tall or under that, sitting there shutting them down. Had 0. He only was thrown to one time, but still shut down by Bashaud Breeland. And Josh Norman saving a touchdown catch. Josh Norman, man, it's great to see him out there yesterday. Great competition between him and Bashaud Breeland. Both of them want to better each other. And hearing Josh Norman talk after the game, you know, just being able to shut people up, like he said, you know, there's a lot of talking off the field and things like that, but it felt so damn good to be on that football field and show that when it comes down to being on the football field, it's business. And that's what Josh Norman showed. And all these people out there who think, oh, Josh Norman's just a system cornerback, and you know, he's not going to pan out, and he was all right on Carolina, but he's not going to do shit on the Redskins. I think he shut some people up last night, and especially Redskins fans who probably thought we overpaid for him and things like that, or maybe he's not going to pan out. Who knows? It's still preseason, but what I saw from Josh Norman last night was straight instinctual. Always had his eyes on the quarterback and the ball while still covering his guy, breaking up passes in the end zone, just hustling, shutting people up, man. Josh Norman is exciting to have him and Bashaud Breeland. And then Kendall Fuller seems to be coming on. Kendall Fuller has been showing some rookie moves out there, and at times just seems to be, I don't want to say lost, but like I see Kendall Fuller playing a little bit too far off of his wide receiver sometimes. Kendall Fuller has the same, he went to Virginia Tech just like D'Angelo Hall, and I have the same criticisms of D'Angelo Hall, and a lot of people do, of Kendall Fuller right now. playing too far off the wide receiver or feeling so confident in himself that sometimes he just looks slow and reacts slow. But he does show the skill. He shows that he can break up passes. He shows that most of the time he's in the right place at the right time, and he just has a swag to him when someone throws his way and he breaks up, he lets everyone know on the football field, no, don't even try that shit again. He reminds me a lot of young D'Angelo Hall. He looks promising, man. Also, Greg Toller, yet again, has another good game. Our offense, Kirk Cousins and the offense didn't get shit rolling in the first quarter, primarily because of a bunch of drops. The game seemed, for our offense, it seemed like last year. They just, in the first quarter, in the beginning of the game, they kind of struggled, but then as it went on, they just got in rhythm. Primarily because of Deshaun Jackson, because Kirk Cousins was throwing the ball to people like Jordan Reed, who dropped the ball. Pierre Garçon hit him right in his hands, dropped the ball. All these people, I think Rashad Ross or Ryan Grant, one of them had a big drop for like a first down throw. It might have not been the most accurate throw by Kirk Cousins, but if the ball is in reach and it's touching your hands, you catch that goddamn ball. We were just talking about the other day on Luigi Live about how the Redskins have the best receiving core. They looked rusty, but I still believe that. They showed, we were sitting here talking about how good they are, and they were looking like some scrubs in the first quarter, dropping all these passes. Reed dropped like a 5-yard pass just right in his hands, just unlike Jordan Reed. Kirk Cousins had an interception in the first quarter where he tried to throw an out route to, it was either Ryan Grant or Rashad Ross. I think it was Ross. And the ball actually hit Ross in the hands and then bobbled up and like landed on the chest of the Bills defender for an interception, which is, you guys, I foresee this coming this year. Whoever sits here and thinks Kirk Cousins is not going to throw any more interceptions, you're delusional. I'm one of the biggest Kirk Cousins fans. I have been since last year, and it's coming out of my mouth. Kirk Cousins is going to throw interceptions. It is going to happen. On that play, what he did was say, I've scanned the field. I have nothing to go to except for one-on-one man coverage out here on the right side. Let me throw the ball over there and give my wide receiver a chance. Let me believe in him. And the ball hit him in the hands, even though it was a contested catch. It still hit him in his hands and like went flying, and it just landed on the dude, and he intercepted it. It's not really Kirk's fault. It's a hard catch for the wide receiver, but it shows wide receivers would love Kirk Cousins for things like that. For throwing that ball means he trusts him to catch that shit. So people like Pierre Garçon and especially Deshaun Jackson. I saw Deshaun Jackson last night. He was the one who kept the Redskins in rhythm until all the other wide receivers got in rhythm and started catching the ball, like Jordan Reed. Grant had a bunch of catches for touchdown and stuff like that. At first, it was just Deshaun Jackson, who in the first quarter had like 4 catches, caught every pass. I saw after he caught a few passes from Kirk, there was one play where he was on the outside, and Kirk eyed him down the whole time and was waiting for him to get open and like turn his head back to be like, yeah, give me the ball. And like it just showed, when Kirk threw the ball and Deshaun Jackson caught it and came back, he was coming back to the huddle like yeah, dude, fucking that's what's up, dude. Kirk Cousins, like I said, people are liking Kirk Cousins because like he just he believes in our wide receivers. He eyed down Deshaun Jackson the whole time and waited and gave him a chance to get open. And finally Deshaun did it, and we got like a first down catch off of it. And Deshaun Jackson sitting there like, yeah, dude, that's legit. That's the real deal, man. Like he didn't just glance and say, oh, he's covered, and then just start moving on. He believes that Deshaun Jackson was getting open, and he did. That's the type of things that's going to set us over being a good team to a great team. Our wide receivers liking our quarterback and liking his decisions, things like that. And like I said, even on the interception, the wide receivers, even though we turned the ball over and our team may seem down about that, our wide receivers are probably somewhat thrilled that, hey, he threw the ball up and gave us a chance. Like he didn't throw. He could have thrown the ball away. He could have done something worse than sitting there and just giving us a chance to do our job and believing in us. So I liked a lot of what I saw from Kirk Cousins. Like I said, slow start, but part of that was because of a lot of drops. It was some inaccurate throws at first. It just showed some rust. And then in the second quarter, although it was against a mix of starters and second stringers for the Bills, you just saw the good reads from Kirk. You saw our wide receivers getting open, catching the ball. 3 touchdowns in the second quarter. Our defense held the Bills to 2 field goals in the first half. Our defense is getting to the ball. They're swarming to the ball. Good defenses swarm to the ball, and that's how we were last year, and that's how we got so many fumbles last year, is because we are swarming to the ball, which is one of the best things you can do. If someone misses a tackle and people are swarming to the ball, someone is going to tackle them. Someone's going to hold the receiver or tight end up so someone else can come in and strip the ball, which is exactly what happened yesterday. Got a fumble recovery. Greg Toller recovered the fumble. I don't know who knocked it out. We had an interception from Kendall Fuller, who saved the game. E.J. Manuel was playing. And our defensive line was so disruptive. They were just always up in E.J. Manuel's face. And I've got to give credit to him. I am not a huge E.J. Manuel fan. I don't think he's that good. I would definitely be starting Tyrod Taylor over him. But E.J. Manuel did have a good outing last night. Not because of his offensive line, is what I'm saying. Because of individual effort from him. Our defensive line was just getting to him play after play, and he had to scramble after scramble after scramble and find someone open deep and things like that, and he was bringing the Bills back to win the game, and ultimately he had to throw a ball into triple coverage in the end zone on the last play of the game where Kendall Fuller made the interception. I'm not raving that someone threw the ball in a triple coverage and someone caught it or whatever, but at least it shows Kendall Fuller can catch the ball, because I've seen him in positions where he had really tight coverage and he had a chance to catch it and he didn't. So at least, he did come down with that and he didn't drop it or something. Vernon Davis caught the ball, so that's good. I didn't see him drop the ball at all. Finally, he's coming around, hopefully. Like I said, Logan Paulson, if it was up to me to pick someone to be, if we don't have enough room for tight ends on our team and it comes down to Vernon Davis or Logan Paulson, the way that Logan Paulson is playing right now, I am taking him over Vernon Davis because he can run block really well and he has not dropped a goddamn catch. Maybe one or something, but besides that, for a big dude, for someone that people don't think he's going to catch the ball, he's been catching it great. D'Angelo Hall also had a penalty where he came in late and hit a player. That's unacceptable, man. Can't be having penalties. It changed the momentum. I think it was 3rd down. We would have gotten the ball back, and D'Angelo Hall just got hot-headed, man. Can't be having that happen. Probably the biggest concern for us right now is our offensive line and how many penalties they keep getting, keep setting us back. Kirk keeps having to build us back out of being sent back 10 yards over and over for penalties from our offensive line, which brings me into the next section. Robert Kelly does look pretty good. He's putting a lot of stuff on tape to make this team when we have all these other injuries, and we're worried about people. Here comes Robert Kelly, who was slow starting in the other games, but he had a good outing against the Bills, really trying to make the team. Kudos to him. Also, Mac Brown. Mac Brown did have a play where Kirk Cousins threw the ball to Jordan Reed for a touchdown. Mac Brown, he stopped a defender from getting to Kirk, but he kind of did show his size. He did get knocked back, but it was enough time for Kirk to get the ball out of his hand and throw a touchdown pass. So, hey, I like Mac Brown because when he ran the ball, yet again, Mac Brown I'm a huge fan of him. I'm a huge fan of guys who, when we're going to be a passing offense, guys. I know that's a huge change of how the Redskins have been in the past few decades. We've been a run-first team, control the clock by running. But when we have too many weapons on offense to be a run-first team, we're going to be throwing the ball. So having someone like Mac Brown makes sense for us. If you hand the ball off to him and he does not dance side to side, he gets immediately right up there as many yards as he can get, whether it's 1 or 2 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, he's going straight downhill for a smaller guy, he is a downhill runner. He gets the yards available. He doesn't dance and wait for something to open up, all the time like a bunch of other guys are on our team, which it comes to backfire on us. It's hard to do that in the NFL. Mac Brown understands, hand the ball off, and I'm going straight downhill, trying to get what yards are there right now besides what's going to open up later on. If our offensive line is not playing that well and they're not getting those holes open, take what you can now. So that's kind of my take on the game. Too many penalties. Might just be preseason. We also haven't found someone to run the ball back on kickoffs or punts. It's concerning because we have so much talent at the wide receiver position. Rashad Ross is a fast dude. Ryan Grant's fast. We've tried so many different people, and we are just not finding the guy who just seems like they got this down. And I think a part of that is because being a kick returner or punt returner, it's kind of like being a star player. All eyes are on you type of thing, and they always try to do too much. Shit, dude, I say put Mac Brown back there. Like I was just saying, Mac Brown, he doesn't dance around. Every time we've had a punt return or kick return, we have people dancing. Shit, give Mac Brown the ball. If he can catch the damn ball, I mean, he's a running back. He might not, that might be a problem for him, catching a kick return or whatever. But shit, dude, I trust him with the ball more than all these other guys who are dancing. If he can catch the ball and let him run downhill, he might not be getting, he might not be running it back for a touchdown, but I'm sure he'll be running back for more yards than we've been getting. So we do have some concerns, but so far I've liked how our team's coming out. I've had much more belief in our team. Our general manager is just getting us talent, guys who are coming in and performing when our first string team is off the field. I'm not worried the whole time. I know I'm actually waiting to see who steps up because I know someone's going to step up. The past few years, it has not been that way. When our starters were off the field, it's like, shit, we're about to get blown out. Or what is our defense going to do? How many yards are they going to give up on these plays? Last night, our third string defense did kind of bend a few times, but they didn't break. They ended up winning the game, helping win the game for us, even though E.J. Manuel was somehow super elusive and getting, showing a lot of individual effort. So kudos to everybody, man. It was a good outing. Kirk Cousins looked good after, getting some rust off, even though it was versus, not some not starter, second string and stuff like that. Sometimes it really doesn't matter, man. All these guys are NFL caliber players. Just to get in the rhythm is good. Can't wait to see Monday Night Football versus the Steelers. I think we have a lot of momentum going. Our team is looking good. We do have some injuries. Ryan Kerrigan went out. Hopefully that's just precautionary. He on the first series he had a nice sack. I worry about Ryan Kerrigan, man. He's such a great guy, and he's he just seems to be having some injury problems, man. We need him to push through that shit and play well, or it's there's no room on this team for people who can't stay healthy, and there's no room for the people on this team who don't perform, man, because our general manager is just finding people who perform. Ziggy Hood was disruptive in the backfield. We're bringing people to this team who want to play, and they're getting elevated by the other play on this team because people are winners now. People went to the playoffs. People have that mentality. Deshaun Jackson is just unreal. He looks really well, and he has not gotten hurt like last year in preseason and stuff like that. It's looking up for us, man. I have a few bullet points real fast. Let me just run through this real fast and see if I missed anything. Corey Lichtensteiger, not looking good for that dude. Hopefully this new center that we got, Stork, hopefully he comes in and plays as soon as possible. Corey Lichtensteiger had a bunch of penalties, and it's just not looking good for him right now. When he knows there's another center coming in, and then he just does not perform well, or he's showing how, he's not performing well because of nerves or something like that, it's not looking good for him. Let's see what else I got on here. Keith Marshall got hurt. I know a lot of you guys like Keith Marshall a lot. Looked really weird what happened to his arm. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, I don't want anyone to be hurt, man, even though, I think other people should be ahead of him in the depth chart. Still don't want anybody to get hurt. Hall had the penalty. Will Compton blew up a run in the backfield. Ziggy Hood blew up a run in the backfield. Ryan Grant had that awesome touchdown catch, which reminded me instantly of when we played the Bills last year, and Deshaun Jackson's on the sideline and he catches the ball and just turns around and just jukes right past 2 defenders and runs for a touchdown. Ryan Grant did the same thing to one guy, caught the ball on the sideline and just like, I'm not going out of bounds, I'm going to run for a touchdown, and just made them look dumb. It was like the same play. Rookie Jean-Francois had a good sack. Too many penalties on the offensive line, already touched on that. There's a lot of penalties in the game. Vernon Davis actually caught the ball. Mac Brown got knocked back. We talked about that. Preston Smith had a really good game. Like I said, dude, our general manager is just killing it, dude. Killing it. There was a bunch of injuries. Duke Iheanacho seems to still be physical. I saw him miss a tackle in the backfield on E.J. Manuel a few times. Man, we were in the backfield against E.J. Manuel a bunch of times. If it wasn't such an elusive quarterback, we would have had so many sacks. And I guess that's kind of it, you guys. Nate Sudfeld, I guess he didn't play this game because he's going to probably play majority of the next game. So unless we don't get any injuries in the next game, I think our preseason went pretty well. We just kind of showed how we looked last year, how Kirk had to get in the rhythm. He was just kind of rusty, and then, you know, after that, it just became all good. Wide receivers were dropping the ball some. Once they started catching it, Deshaun Jackson helped our offense get in rhythm by not dropping any passes. And then when people started catching passes, it was off to the races, scoring 3 touchdowns in 1 quarter. We're getting blown out. Our defense swarming to the ball, causing fumbles, got an interception. Defense still shows signs of improvement for them the past few years. Last year, we had a lot of turnovers. You know, that's such an awesome thing, because now when I'm watching our defense play and they throw the ball over the middle to a tight end and he's got the ball, and the next thing you know, someone's Will Compton's tackling him and holding him straight up, and then you see Bashad Breeland or D'Angelo Hall running up and trying to get in there and get the ball. Every single moment, it's kind of like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Are they going to get the ball? Are they going to get the ball? It just seems like that's never used to be the Redskins getting turnovers, and now we are. It's always exciting when guys are getting tackled and they're not going down right away, and then you're just sitting there like, are we going to get the ball or not? Are we going to, strip it or not? It's really exciting when, like I said, our team hasn't been that way in the past. Whoever knows how long. Turnovers are happening for us, and it's exciting. So let me know if I missed anything about the game. Let me know what you guys think about the Cowboys, Tony Romo getting hurt, the Carson Wentz hurt. He's probably not going to, has broken ribs. He's probably not going to play this year, they already said. The Eagles gave up so much for a quarterback, just like we did for RG3, and their quarterback's not even going to play. It's ridiculous, man. This NFL is crazy. You never know what's going to happen next. So thanks for staying, watching and everything, man. I'll like all the comments that you guys put down there. I'll write back to you guys. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Hail to the Redskins. Peace.